It has been said that prayer is not primarily a matter of getting ourselves where we can see God, so much as getting ourselves where God can see us. That is, getting ourselves into the light of His presence, putting aside our defences and disguises, coming into silence and stillness, so that what stands before God is not the performer, the mask, the habits of self-promotion and self-protection, but the naked me. But that is why the path of contemplation has always been seen as one of darkness as well as light. When we undertake to spend that sort of time with God, we undertake to let go of most of what usually makes us feel safe or good. The deepest challenge of the calling to contemplation, especially for those who make it a lifetime's work, is that it may never feel useful and readily justifiable. It is taken on not for a simple set of results, but for the sake of truth, for the sake of eternity. Like heaven itself, contemplation demands everything and gives everything. It is about stripping. It is about letting yourself more and more be clothed with Christ, taken into His prayer and love. The life given to this unsparing attention and focus on eternal joy is, paradoxically, one of the most utterly draining and demanding lives there could be. Yet it shows what the truth is worth. It means letting go of the images we're used to, moving beyond ideas and pictures of God that belong in our comfort zone. It means letting go of the emotions that we like to have, letting go of what we think makes us happy, not to cultivate misery, but to get used to the idea that real joy might be so strange and overwhelming that we'd fail to recognize it unless we had put some distance between our usual comforts and reassurances. At the prosaic level, it can mean sitting there facing frustration and self-doubt of the most acute sort. God calls me to delight and eternal fulfillment, so why exactly am I sitting here twiddling my thumbs, shifting from buttock to buttock, and wondering where, what, and who is God? God is God. He is not obliged to conform to our expectations. And because the reality is so immeasurably greater than any mind or heart or imagination can take in, we must let go in order to make room. Desire for God alone. The waters of interior delights do not spring from the earth. The mouth of desire must be turned towards heaven and be empty of everything else. He then that seeks happiness in other things is not keeping himself empty for God to fill with His own unspeakable joy. As a man goes to God, so does he leave Him, and if his hands are full, he cannot take into them what God wants to give. Do not feed your spirit on anything apart from God. Cast away all cares, and let peace and recollection fill your heart. The soul that wants God to give Himself to it must first surrender itself totally to Him and keep nothing back for itself.